Good evening, YouTube. It is Saturday, March 14th, 13th, somewhere in that vicinity. Actually, in 20 minutes' time, there's going to be a show on CNN about, her name is Steven, I think is the name of it. It's about a post-op MTF, male to female transsexual, who was born Steven and is now named Susan, I believe. And I watched a bit of a show about her last night with Larry King, but it was Jeff Probst. It was really funny because Jeff Probst, who was interviewing her, you could tell he didn't know anything about transsexuals, and he was really curious, and he was saying things like, well, I don't mean to sound ignorant, but are you gay? Or he didn't understand the difference between gay and transsexual. So that was the Jeff Probst part, and then the next segment was Anderson Cooper, who I think is commonly known to be gay but doesn't ever come out about it, and he was interviewing Chaz Bono, who, as you may know, is the former daughter of Sonny and Cher, FTM, female to male transsexual, and has pretty much ended on most of the transformation at this point. Whether or not he is getting bottom surgery was he wanted to keep that private. And it was very interesting because Anderson Cooper was asking questions that really indicated he knew a lot about this process. He was saying, for example, things like, well, a lot of my transsexual friends don't get bottom surgery. And first off, you have a lot of transsexual friends, like most people don't, so clearly you walk in those circles. And secondly, bottom surgery is a phrase that I don't think a lot of people are familiar with. Now, I watch a lot of YouTube videos that have to do with transsexuality, transgenderdom, genderqueerdom, and on we go. So I thought I would, for the sake of my viewers, who actually probably don't care about this as much as I do, explain the differences. So here we go. The binary gender world, there are men and there are women. And in the world of sexuality, there are most people consider heterosexuals and homosexuals. And then there are some bisexuals. But you got to remember, gender and sexuality are two totally different things. So gender is who you are, and sexuality tends to be who you are attracted to. So you can be a woman, born a woman, in woman's skin, and hormones of a woman, and be attracted to men, and that would make you a straight female or a heterosexual female. You could be a woman attracted to women, and that would make you a homosexual woman or a lesbian, as the term would be. You could be born a man and be attracted to women, and that would make you a straight man, heterosexual male. You could be a man attracted to men, and that's a homosexual male. So that's what we call the binary, which is two, black and white, man and woman, in and out, and so it goes. And that's lovely for a good chunk of the population. Then you get into characteristics where people aren't 100% sure about who they're attracted to or what they are. And when I first discovered the term genderqueerdom, that was the word that I latched onto. Because I have never identified 100% as female. I was born female. I mean, when I came out, they said, it's a girl. And pink cards were sent to all the family members, and I'm sure I was dressed in pink. Now, my mother happens to be the fifth of 5 children. There were 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and when she was born, her mother, who was an old country peasant woman, was very mad that she had yet another girl. And she was quite abusive to my mother, and she used to say things like, well, if you were the 5th kid, we didn't even want 5 kids. If you had to have been born, at least you could have been a boy. So my mother grew up very unloved and unwanted by her mother. Her father was a different story. But my mom grew up quite a tomboy. And my mom, it been a huge influence in my life. My mother never wore skirts or dresses. She never had long hair. She never really wore makeup. Very tomboyish. Very, very tomboyish. She was the one who drove in our family, and she was the fix-it person. So when things broke, my mom fixed it. My dad's more artsy-fartsy. He plays guitar, and he never got his driver's license. My mom drove him to work all those years. So I grew up in a family where, the woman was the main parent, who did, I guess, took more after her. I am the second of 2 children, 2 daughters, and my sister is a girly girl. She's a girly girl. April 5th or something like that. In about 2 weeks' time, she will be celebrating her 25th year consecutive with a boyfriend. She's always had a boyfriend since she was 13 years old. And I was saying to her, I've had boyfriends on and off in my life. I've always been attracted to men, sexually attracted to men, which makes me heterosexual female, I suppose. But my sister never had, she's never been single, and she's always had done herself up in the typical girly fashion to attract a male. So she's lots of makeup, hair done to the nines. She wears girls' clothing. She accentuates the things that typical females accentuate: breasts, hourglass figure, etc. Now, I don't know if it was a combination of having, a drop-dead gorgeous sister and a tomboy mom, but there was something in me that always said, I can't compete with that, and I guess I won't. And I sort of went the other way. So I always dressed, I was very much the tomboy. I was born with the birth name Joanne, was Joanne for most of my life, and then at the age of 30, changed my name to Joe and asked to be called Joe. It's on my resume and credit cards. And I am known as Joe now in life. I wanted a gender-neutral name, and I sign my name J in my last name because I don't want people to know my gender. And the older I got, let me think out loud about this, because I think people thought I was a lesbian for a lot of years. And it was kind of funny, because I never was. I was never attracted to women. But I always looked dykey. I always never wore makeup, as you see. I have no problems with the way I look. I don't think I'm an ugly girl. I think this is what Joe looks like. That's neither ugly, nor bad, nor good, nor whatever. This is just what I look like. And I've had boyfriends who thought I was gorgeous, and I've had people who think I'm whatever. Got the dad's nose and the mom's chin, which could have gone the other way, but it didn't. I've always kind of just celebrated who I am, and that is not the prettiest girl, but that doesn't matter because I don't care so much about the pretty part, I care so much about the girl part. I never liked being called a girl. I never liked being associated with the girls. If there was a party going on and it was just the girls, I wouldn't go because I didn't feel welcome, I didn't feel comfortable there. But I never identified as male either. Now that's where it gets tricky, and I had always thought, well, I'd always lived in the binary. You're either straight or you're gay, you're female or you're male. I guess I discovered the term gender neutrality first, and I decided I was gender neutral, which means neither male nor female. And then later I discovered the word genderqueer, which means I kind of want to play with it a little bit, and I want to fuck you up. I want you to wonder who I am. And when you see, so I'm a computer technician for a living, and I'll walk into where I'm going to fix the computer, and someone will say, well, the technician's supposed to be here. His name's Joe. He's on his way. And I'll say, yeah, I'm Joe. I'm here. I'm here to fix your computer. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I've always dressed gender neutrally. For many years I wore exclusively men's pants, men's underwear, men's socks, men's boots, shoes, because I found first off men's clothes were better made, and also women's were very flimsy. It's almost like they want them to wear out or break. And I'm kind of a rough and tumble person. I don't know, things just, I get holes in my socks. The elastic on my underwear goes out quickly. I don't know. I'm just not the kind of person who can wear a little dainty shirt and not, like, wreak havoc. I don't like the pits go yellow, the whatever. So I've always often worn men's clothing. And I liked that. My sister used to call me a cross-dresser back in the days before I even knew about any of this. I just thought, well, my name is Joe, and I wear men's clothes, and if you don't like it, too bad. All the while being attracted to men, and all the while having boyfriends on and off. I haven't had a boyfriend in a long time, and that's more of my choosing, because the single life actually really appeals to me, and that's a whole other video, because singledom by choice, or I call it spinsterdom, which I guess is a gendered term. Only women are spinsters. But to choose to be single is a strange thing in our society, but that's another video. I just wanted to talk about genderqueerdom a little bit and just get the idea out there that not everybody who was born in the body that they were born in is happy with that. And I don't even mean from a genitalia perspective. I just mean I'm not comfortable when people put me in that if there's only two bowls and you go, is it a red one or a blue one? I'm neither. I'm purple. Like, there's got to be another bowl. There's got to be another way. And so that's when I latched onto the term genderqueerdom, and I really like it. And I've always, it's funny, because when people thought I was a dyke, there came, when I was in my early 20s, I did question my sexuality, and I thought I must be a lesbian, which was funny, because I had never been attracted to women. But it had to do with questioning, feeling at home in the queer community, and feeling queer, but not being able to articulate that, because my sexuality was fairly straight and narrow. But I feel queer, and I feel like I belong in the queer community, even though most people would say, Joe, you're a straight woman. Come on, just put some lipstick on and get over yourself. Okay, so that's my video for today. I want to go watch that documentary. It's on in about 2 minutes. So, catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.